Good day, everybody.
Good day, good day.
Welcome to ULPLM, Universal Light Pure Love Ministries.
Welcome.
Today, we're going to talk about spiritual warriors or spiritual workers. There's a difference. They're both needed.
Yes.
However, what makes you decide which one is which? What do you think?
Right.
What do you think, honey?
Well, a light warrior is also a light worker, but they work a lot differently from those that would call themselves the light worker.
Right.
Because they use that passion, that fire inside, that need for justice to battle. So therein lies.
And what are we battling?
Well, we're battling.
Because some people would claim that there was no battle but with one within, which I believe in the battle within. I do believe that.
Yes.
But there's a battle going on, and battles. I mean, there's always conflict somewhere.
Yes.
And that's how do we go about that? I mean, how does a light worker deal with something like that, or a spiritual worker? I don't like to say light worker because we're electric beings, right? So light is just what emits from us. And it is very healing, yes, but that's from that electricity and magnetism. Anyway, that's a totally different subject. So anyway, back to being, spiritual warrior or a spiritual worker.
Right.
What would be the difference? How would a spiritual worker, like in your eyes, be? What would they do in conflict? Because conflict is real. Yes. We're in it every day, or as a planet, or as humanity, or just in our own lives, we deal with conflict. I mean, it's just the fact of life.
And the light worker would or spiritual worker would be the one that tries to handle and control and master their own inner conflict as the conflict is kind of happening. And I believe that they believe anyway, it helps to give them that bigger look, that higher glimpse, that deeper understanding of the outward conflict.
Right.
Whereas the spiritual warrior will face the adversity and say, okay, look,
go right up front, kind of like the Marines,
or you need to go, type of thing. So yeah.
So and that's it. I mean, and they both work together.
Yes,
I mean,
I
would see of course, I would consider myself a spirit warrior, a spiritual warrior, because I want to deal with that battle within, and I want to deal with the battle without, or outside of us, and we can all do that, even as just a light, or spiritual worker that deals with energy, an energy worker. Yeah. There we go. Energy worker, energy warrior. I like those better.
Oh, that's better.
I would consider like the energy worker basically on the battlefield, like as the medic, right? Trying to heal things and heal and really kind of bridge that gap between what we are supposed good and evil. What we can see as evil. I mean, we are born with an innate ability to know right from wrong.
Correct.
I believe we are. I mean, I really feel like, as we see things, we know what hurts people. We know what hurts us.
Right.
We know what we don't like. We know what we do. Right. But the spiritual warrior, or the energy warrior, would be up front, like basically not being afraid to speak up, not being afraid to cuss every once in a while.
Right.
It's because being in a high vibration, I mean, I'm in a high vibration all the time, but sometimes I'm in a lower vibration, just like all of us. There are people that are, that can maintain that higher vibration, but they're usually up in the woods somewhere, up on top of a mountain. They're called Buddhist monks. That's all they work on.
Right.
They don't have much of the outside. Well, I would, I've never been to Tibet, but they've really, from what I've seen,
the outside influence.
Yeah, and they do practice warrior techniques as well. So, and they have that higher. What I'm trying to get to is, we can be angry, we can be sad.
Yes.
It's okay to be that way sometimes. It's okay to feel that emotion, because the less we feel it and we try to just kind of fake being happy all the time, instead of talking about it or dealing with it, whatever's kind of nagging at us, we'll either tend to kind of, a lot of us,
Right.
as humans, we kind of tend to want to push it away and just
Right. You
just
don't want to have
ignore
to
it,
feel that or
you
deal with
know,
that or
and
right.
and that's not healthy.
Right.
It's also not healthy to get yourself in a complete vibration where you're always wanting to fight,
Right.
right? You
Right.
have to choose your battles.
Yes.
Make sure it's for the good of everybody.
Right.
But I mean, these are just my opinions, but this is what I'm getting. I'm getting some transmissions, so I felt like I would share with all of you. Hi, Christina.
Hello. How are you? Thank you for joining our
Please share this out if
conversation.
you can. Thank you very much for being here. But yeah, it's basically back to I'm gonna call it energy worker,
Yeah.
energy warrior,
There you go.
and the energy warrior uses energy for the same reasons to heal. I mean,
Yes.
that's really, and that's what people, a lot of light or energy. I keep saying light.
It's
I've got to
because it's
train
that old
myself.
habit.
It's
It's
that programming. So you got to be
programming.
careful with that programming
Yes.
because it guides us in just such a different direction.
In just such a
The
way.
big spiritual movements that were established back in the '60s or even before that.
They're all pretty much
They've all been
psychedelics.
co-opted, right? So
Right.
just consider it being co-opted. Just listen to yourself and what makes sense to you.
Right.
But don't feel bad, warriors, energy warriors out there. Don't feel bad about going to spiritual war because it is a spiritual
It
warfare.
is.
But on that same hand, understand that the energy worker and healer is very important within this war as well, because us
They
energy
limit the
warriors
destruction.
have to kind of go to
Yeah.
battle a lot, and we do get PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why that energy worker that can kind of bring us down and ground us.
Yeah.
So anyway, what do you think?
I think you pretty much stated it fairly well. Yeah.
So what would does anybody have any questions? I know there's only like 3 in here right now, but if you have any questions,
Yes, please,
please
please.
post.
Because I understand there's a lot of new information coming out. Both information from our 3D matrix we've been living in, as well as transmissions from our higher selves, through spirit transmission, I don't want to use that word. Hang on. Through multidimensional beings, through angels, through source. Okay, we're all getting all this information, and we're all coming to these new truths, and it can be very difficult to have to break down those old truths, especially when we fought so hard to have them in the first place. So yes, I think we're just trying to help everyone to understand the difference between what one would call an energy warrior and one would call an energy worker, and understand that difference, because there are some times where I feel like someone that truly just needs an energy worker, someone that can bring them that peace, that less distraction, that can help them come to that space, needs someone that's in that space, and for the energy warrior, though we can help you with that as well, it's a different approach. It's and it can sometimes for some be difficult, or it can hurt a little, and so understanding the difference, and knowing where you are yourself and what it is that you feel like you need at that time, can be very helpful on your journey.
Right. Alana Almonte, she asks, what is the purpose of the expansion we are all going through as humans? Well, there's many purposes. I mean, the main purpose I would think is expansion, right? We're expanding our understanding, expanding the way we see things, the way we feel things, the way we experience life as humans and as multidimensional beings. I mean, if you want, you can tune into all of it. Excuse me. However, that's really what it's about. It's about evolving as spirits. It's about really kind of coming back into our own. We're our cosmic, the way, in a cosmic way, we're kind of moving into a more higher energy or higher frequency. So like basically our solar system, from the way I'm seeing it and have seen it psychically, and just, through some things that I've researched, read, and watched. Basically our solar system is entering, and our sun, the whole system is entering this different place in space. And it's a better vibration. And when that happens, we call it, and we're also, there's a lot of things going on because of this. but basically we're entering back into a cycle. So if you could kind of think about like our sun kind of dragging or pulling all of our planets, right? All the planets in this solar system in this big circle. And we go through this big cycle, right? We're coming back into that part of the cycle where we are going to start to, everything is going to start to merge. These other dimensions are going to start to merge in the middle, which is, what is the middle? Well, that's our third dimension. That's our 3D reality that we live in. We actually see in 3D, we're actually in the fourth dimension. So when we say third dimension, we're actually in the fourth dimension, just seeing, we are only able to see the third dimension.
Right.
So what's happening, and this is just a way of explaining it. There's many other ways to explain it. Right. They're all pretty similar. Is we're moving up as souls. We're ascending into the fifth dimension, the higher dimensions. So when you start, you probably, many are going to see strange things out of the corner of your eye. You're going to see a lot more of what we'd call, ghosts or whatever, whatever you want to call it, spirit, angels. You're going to see these things,
shadow beings.
And they're going to come and they're going to come in quick, and then they're going to go. And that's really what we're seeing is we're seeing into that fourth dimension. So it tells me that we're starting to see, we are ascending into the fifth dimension right now. But there is that force that is all throughout this universe, which is the polarity, that is trying to pull us back down because they have that control.
Right.
Of course, it's a losing battle because they're outnumbered. However, they do still wield power. And that's what I was talking about as far as, there's an importance of the spirit of the energy warrior. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. And she asked another question. Let's see, Alana. Are beings from other realities already here? Well, yeah. And we're multi-dimensional beings, so we're omnipresent beings. We can dwell in many other dimensions, and we do. So yes, in that aspect, yes, and then yes, there are other entities, but we are all one. But I want people to remember, don't get sucked into that. We are all one, and allowing things to happen. Like you see a fire, what do? You're gonna yell fire, or you're just gonna walk past it. That's the difference between what I'm seeing right now between the energy warrior and the energy worker.
Right.
But yeah, there are beings from other realities. You're gonna see more of them. But yeah, that's what's going on. There's a lot of timelines merging. Right. There's a lot of dimensions merging. There's like a whole bunch of different things going on at the same time.
Right.
And a lot of this has to do with cosmic shifts. But we can go above that even, and it's to do with gods and goddesses, but that's a whole different podcast.
Right. It really is all kind of one big truth, but it's seen from so many different perceptions. And I think a lot of the times when we're doing our inner work, it becomes so real how beautiful it is, because it is truly a magical, spiritual, beautiful thing to go within and to figure yourself out and to kind of find that peace. And sometimes it can be difficult to get back out there into that reality, with all that distraction, with all that, with everyone else's perceptions, right? And that's kind of what we're here for, though. All to have our own experience, yes, and our own unique view, which is why they say, look at everyone like you're playing with yourself. And yes, you kind of should treat everyone the way you would treat yourself. Plain and simple, right? But in that, remember that they're having their own experience. And how are you affecting that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can kind of get lost in the balance, in trying to find a balance of that. We can go too far one way or another. And
I think, the reason I can understand good and evil is because, and I think, all of us can, is, and there is a difference, is we've all been on that dark side at one point in our life, right? Yes. And so we know how to recognize it.
Yeah.
So we do see it within ourselves, but we also, with our hearts, which is, what we're all talking about now, is that love in our hearts, right? With that love and that fire in our heart, and passion for love and love of each other, we feel the need to help put a stop to some of the things that are going on.
Right.
So when an energy warrior is speaking up, I'm getting used to saying energy warrior now.
There you go.
I'm going to have to change the title too.
All right.
Energy workers, support, or just don't, you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be an argument. Basically, what we're all working on this together. We're all on the same team.
Yes.
You can always have faith in an energy warrior, because an energy warrior will be there for you no matter what.
Right.
In the darkest places, right, to the lightest places. So it's important that we work together right now, especially right now, because there's a lot of things going on, and
Yes.
there is an ascension going on. And we're all kind of just trying to find our bearings and find out which direction we need to go, or stay in the right flow.
Right.
And the way to do that is with unity. I said, there's a good things and bad things to oneness, and uniting and really spreading the messages that you spread out there, all of you.
Right.
You all know who you are, and thank you very much.
Yes.
It's important that we all work together and we all share that message, and really, if you feel like you need to speak up about something, and something that, you do see some wrong, or something evil that, or because we know what evil is. I mean,
Right.
It's people doing really bad shit.
On
Excuse
purpose.
me. On purpose. So, and that's the people, we talk about demons. I'm going off. I know. I'm sorry. We talk about demons. I'm going to go off on a little side note here.
This is perfect.
And them being dangerous. But really, isn't it a lot of the people, or some of the people that you're seeing in life? Aren't they a little bit more alarming? I've dealt with demons. I've seen demons, and that, of course, demons can possess. And especially if you're evil and you continue to do the wrong thing, or
if you're inviting it in,
things that are just really, really selfish and all about, vanity and selfism. Yes, of course. Yes, you can invite it in.
Yep.
And it's basically just like feeding your own demon.
It is. That's exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, let's pay attention to what's going on in the world. And please, energy workers, I know a lot of the stuff that we say, as warriors say, can be alarming and really kind of put you in a different vibration. But understand that we're here. Please help us, and support us. You can remain silent.
Yeah.
But let's not fight each other.
Right.
Let's not argue with each other, because we know what we need to do.
Right.
It's bringing love, but understand, bringing that love, think about love in a relationship. Is that always fun and just fluffy? And no, it's not.
You come into
There's a lot of mud you got to walk through,
Exactly that,
So, hey, what I'm saying is we need to work together, and vice versa. Energy warriors, and I'm telling myself this.
Yeah.
You need to be kind.
Yeah.
To the workers, and be grateful, because they are the healers in this battle. And we can also be healers, warriors. We can also be healers at times. That's what we are. That's what we all have that same mission, is to heal.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to thank all of you, energy warriors and energy workers.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for what you do.
For all of you out there seeking advice, all of you out there seeking truths, all of you speaking your truths, all of you having an open mind, being willing to change your thoughts, working on yourselves, all of you just coming into it, all of you just barely getting an interest. I appreciate you, and thank you.
Yes, thank you. Namaste. I love you all, and we'll talk to you soon.
Much love.